Hey everyone, just thought I'd do a quick video. User over on Twitter, ActiveFire, or rather ActiveFireball, has just asked to the community, the Twitter community, how do I go about doing OBS, or how do I go about doing Twitch stuff. So I thought I'd do a really quick video on how I do it. I'll probably have to point you guys to the YouTube version because I'm going to splice some stuff in here, because what I want to do is drag OBS onto the screen, but when I do that you get picture in picture in picture in picture in picture, so that's not good. But the basics are that I have a Twitch account, I've got a stream key for that, I put the stream key into OBS and that does some magic. There's some settings that you need to set up like that are specific for your bandwidth. So if you have a low bandwidth, then you want to drop some settings or increase them. I do have, it's a bit heavy, I've got a blue Yeti microphone. It seems to be the mic that everybody uses for streaming or podcasts. So I plug that in. There's a button, a combination that I've set up, which mutes the microphone on demand. That's what I did there. That's why you didn't hear anything. And I've got some keyboard commands to switch between the different views. So I've got, that's my default view where I usually have Ryder sitting and waiting and doing some work. I'm just starting Ryder now so that I can move it over. I should have really started that before I started. I've also got a bunch of different other, so I've got the start screen, I've got one moment in case I need to pause and do something secret, and I've got a thanks for after we finished everything. And those are keyboard shortcuts I've set up in OBS to allow me to jump between the screens. And then pretty much everything else is talking to the camera with the microphone on one side, my keyboard over here. So if I fire up, let's have a look. So if I fire up one of my apps in Ryder, which is going to take a while, I really should have done that before I started. Then you know that helps with showing what's going on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up the chat window. So I didn't do that either because that's a bit silly. If I go like this, oh, I've got one viewer, Ace. Sorry everyone who might be watching live, it might even be me, I don't know what the stats are. So if I try and pull up the chat whilst I'm here, oh, okay, is this, if I click that, I don't know how to bring up the chat room in another window. I'm sure it's doable. I really should have done this before I started. I'm playing inside of Twitch right now as I'm doing this. If you're watching, give me a shout out and I'll give you a shout out back, I guess. Oh, there we go, pop out, there we go. So pop that out and then I can close this window. So yeah, this is really just sort of showing off what I do as I'm doing it. So if I drag that over here, my CPU is now about to start going mental and that's flashing at you, so I'll hide that again. And I don't know why. Probably Narrativia is the wrong one to open. But so now I've got Ryder is now loading in the background. If I bring up Visual Studio Code, which is my other editor that I use, and I've got those set up with font sizes, so I've changed the preferences on these. Can I drag that over there? I can, but it's taking a moment because Ryder is taking forever to read through all of my code. If I make that smaller, maybe I could stop this action. Should have tried to stop this earlier. There we go, stop this process. So what's happening is, one of the things that Ryder does is it tries to process every single file in your application on boot, which is fine, except that one of the things that I've loaded is a single page application with tons and tons of JavaScript. So if I open a folder, I don't mind you guys seeing what's on my computer because, you know, it would be silly if I didn't. So where are we? So if I open my, what's the best one to show you? Let's open Narrativia. Yeah, I mean, I've got it opening in Ryder anyway. So you'll see when that starts, that has, there we go. So what I'll do is I'll sometimes mess about in here doing some code work, and I've got that set up. Let's just close that. That's trying to load some icons and things. So say I want to edit this file, I'll edit it, but the so with this, what's brilliant about Visual Studio Code is it's all open source and it's all really easy to use and really quick. So I've just changed the text size so you guys can read that better. I could read it fine because I'm sat like, I mean, if I rotate my laptop and you'll see the mess of you see that's my screen and this is where I am. So, you know, it's pretty close. So I can read that. When I could read that when it was at 12 point, but I've upped it to 18 because it's easier. I'm looking at the preview now and it's easier to see that. So in OBS I've got a little setting to put my face in the corner, and like you saw then, if I rotate this around again, you can't see my face on that screen, but you can see my face on this screen, so that's cool. That's a little thing to make my face appear roughly here where I'm moving the mouse there. And you know, getting it running with this is just so stupidly simple. You just hit start streaming, there's a button on the screen and it starts streaming to Twitch. I've got it also set up to start recording in case something goes wrong. At least then I've got the recording locally and then I can edit it together and throw it up onto YouTube. There's no programming involved in this one today. I'm just going to show you Rider. I think it's gonna, yeah, so the text is still pretty small and it's for some reason flashing on my screen. Is it, when I do that over there, is it flashing for you? No, it's just flashing on my screen. Okay, fair enough. And you know, I'll be playing with it in here. I would have brought the text size up. You see, it's all in the preferences. There's two different ways to do the text sizes. I tend to jump in and figure out where in the settings I need to change the text sizes, font size, sorry, so that everyone can read it. But I've read a slightly better tip, which is change your desktop resolution to be a smaller resolution, which will make the text appear bigger. You could totally do that if you wanted. That's not a problem. I think that was on one of the ASP.NET live stand-ups that they do sitting down. They talked about that. I believe it was, I want to say, it was John Galloway who mentioned it, but there you go. And you know, I'll be typey in here, and then I'll bring up the terminal when it comes up. I was messing with the terminal the other day, and again, I would need to change the text size on this, so I would go somewhere in here, profiles, there we go, and I would have to go change from 14 to 18 or something. There we go, and then close, and then that. If I do this, nope, okay, fair enough. There's a way to do it, and you know, if I don't know, maybe I have to close it to bring it back up, but there you go. Yeah, that one. There we go. So, you know, I can bring up a terminal. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Actually, let's go, let's go 24. Just to make it really, really obvious which one. There you go. So that's a little bigger, isn't it? So you can see that. So I can go .NET. I can go CD, code, Narrativia, ls, so you can see that. And then I can go .NET, run, and it will run the application. So then, oh, okay. So couldn't find a project. Oh, right, yes. So I've got to go Narrativia solution. Oh, not services. You see how, yeah. So CD Narrativia solution S. Oh, fair enough. Okay, not a problem. But that's how I would do that. There we go. I should have really done a tilde there, but there you go. Let's just change this back so I don't end up blinding myself next time I use my laptop. Yep, that's cool. And that's basically it. You know, there's not really much else. When I hit stop streaming, what's going to happen is I've got a comment. Sorry, stream freezes every 3 seconds. Yeah, sorry about that. That's probably my shocking bandwidth, if I'm honest. If I stop the stream and start it again, I'll have a slightly better connection because I'm currently on a VPN doing some stuff for someone. So if I was to drop off the VPN, I'd have a better connection. So ShockByteX also asked, what do I code? I do a lot of .NET Core. So I don't know whether you know much about .NET Core, but if I drag a browser over here, so what I do is .NET. Oh well, I mean that's my website, but .NET/Core. It's a Microsoft technology based on the .NET framework. You see my bandwidth's pretty shocking right now. So it's based on Oh yes, thanks Jay. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm a .NET Core dev in my own free time. I'm a .NET dev in my work time. So yeah, Jay Miller of Productivity in Tech just jumped into the comments and said that yeah, I'm a .NET Core dev. So I use this framework. I'm pretty much pointing directly at it there, aren't I? I'm just going to hold that for a second because I'm quite proud of that. I'm using this framework to do most of my stuff, and I write for .netcore.gaprogman.com, which is this website. I'll put a thingy in the comments, and I'll also put .netcore. See if I can catch that URL before the DNS resolves. There we go. So I'll put some links in the chat for what I was just showing off. It might take a couple of seconds for it to catch up. I don't know. Hopefully not. What I need to do is be less animated. I've found that in my streams when I'm really animated, my bandwidth falls to the floor and then video throughput is no good. But yes, so I just thought I'd show off. So I'll write. Said everything's fine. Trouble is with cap. Yeah, to be fair, I can see. So in if I try and show you in OBS, if I take a screenshot, let me take a screenshot. That's probably better. So if I do that, right. So I've just taken a screenshot of the screen with OBS running. In the corner, I'll show you over here. So that's the screenshot. And can I zoom? I think I can. If I zoom in here, it's not a very good screenshot, but there you go. My ugly mug. In the corner, you can see I'm only uploading at just under a kilobyte a second, and I'm running at 23% CPU. That's probably because I'm on a MacBook Air from 2014. So that's probably why the stream video quality isn't very good. But, you know, if I wanted to, and I probably will in the future, if I wanted to, then I can spend more time adjusting the frames per second and stuff. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jay's just said drop the frames per second from 30 to 20 and it'll probably be all right. As you saw in the screenshot, when it catches up, you know, I'm capturing at 30 frames a second. So if I drop that, then yeah, it won't be as smooth, but there won't be as much lagginess. Jay Miller with old technology. To be fair, I'm thinking of getting the reason this is laggy is because it's a MacBook Air, so MacBook Airs aren't built for performance. It took me about 3 hours to get Node set up on this machine, just pulling down the packages and installing itself. But it was running out of power and I hadn't plugged in and all that kind of stuff. So it was intentionally throttling the CPU speed. So that's probably why. There'll be things I can do to this machine, like stopping running services, which will speed that up as well. I just haven't had a chance to look into it. So yeah, just thought I'd show this off. And like I said, if I show you that screenshot again, so I wonder whether this will show on the other screen. There we go. So this is what I see. Like I said, I could bring OBS across to the other screen and you can see it, but it'll be picture in picture in picture in picture in picture, you know. You're right, Jay. Yeah, I should get myself and you an iMac Pro, you know, all the monies. So that's cool. But over here, so I have several screens and each one is set up slightly differently. So if I switch to, so the screen's on there, starting shortly, workspace, 1 moment, right? This is starting shortly when I get the keyboard shortcut right. And as you can see, you know, there's a couple of, there's like contact details and logo and stuff. Come back to me. And then we've got 1 moment. So that's this one. That's for when I'm doing something secret, like signing into a page or where I have to supply a password or get an API key. And then I've got a thanks for watching, which is a generic thank you, sort of just when I'm finished. I'll leave this on for a few seconds just to let everyone know that I'm signing off and to thank them for watching. And that's cool. Logo there, as you saw. So logo by James Studart. He's a pretty awesome developer and he was a graphic designer for a while, so he's pretty cool. And then I have a bunch of sources. So I've got the webcam. That's this bit here with my ugly mug, and then the display capture, I've literally got it set to the full screen, but you can say only capture this window. It's up to you depending on what you want to do with it. Horizon TT has said OBS tutorial. Yeah, well, no, not really. I'm just showing you what I do. There's some really cool stuff that Jay does. So Jay Miller, he's in the comments. He's from Productivity and Tech. He has like music playing in the background and stuff. Whereas I think I kind of waffle on a little too much. I'm just going to do this. I think I waffle on a bit too much. That's why I started this. To have music in the background, it would just be, I feel like it would be a waste of bandwidth and CPU time, especially since I have the lagginess of the video. But I can improve on that. And like I say, I just need to either get a better quality computer, drop some processes, or drop the number of frames per second. I also need to get better at looking at the camera rather than looking at myself, because I'm currently keep looking, where are we? Looking over here. There, no, there. Oh, I can't do back. I keep looking over here at me rather than looking up there at the camera. Oh, you didn't need to see my fingernail. But that's literally. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to. Oh, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to show off. Let me make this the active screen, and then my I don't know how to get that back over here. There we go. I don't think there's much else that I wanted to show off. Other than just, this is how I edit, and I have a separate keyboard because I'm not a huge fan of the chiclet keyboard on this Mac. Music is not too hard if you have. Well, yeah, if I had sound, yeah. Jay Miller has just said that if you've got Soundflower, then you can do music on a Mac. Like I say, it's not something that I think I need to do, because whenever I'm move the camera, this or this, oh, that one. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I would move the camera so that I would move the camera so it was in a better place, but I'm actually just using the integrated camera on the laptop. I'm probably going to get a separate one because I've got my PC there. Well, that's the monitor, but I've got my PC at this desk as well, and that's more powerful. That can actually do non-laggy video for my bandwidth, but I don't have a camera for it. So yeah, maybe Jay Miller saying in the comments that in the chat that maybe I should get a Logitech HD 1080p, which are currently about $40. So maybe I should, and then I can use the Beast to do some programming. That runs on Ubuntu. So Horizon TT has just asked, is .NET development on Mac comfortable? So .NET development I haven't done on Mac. .NET Core I have done. So I've done a lot of .NET Core development. Almost everything that you can read on the blog. That's not the blog. Let me bring up the website. So almost everything that you can read on here, when it loads, again, I think because I'm uploading and all that kind of stuff, and I'm connected to a VPN and shouldn't really be using this bandwidth for that, but there you go. Everything you can read on here, I've built. Oh look, there I am. Everything that you can read about on here, I've put a link in the chat, so just sort of scroll up if you can see it. Absolutely everything I've built on here is was built with this Mac laptop or with my Ubuntu computer, and it's all .NET Core. It's all open source, so you can click through to where are we? Let's have a look at. Yeah, so when I created a template, so with the .NET Core, so if I bring up the terminal again, and I bring up a slightly bigger terminal so you can see, change this to 20 something. So in here with .NET Core, there's a lot of everything. The tooling for .NET Core is fantastic. So I can, from the terminal, do .NET new, and I will get a list of templates that I have installed on this machine. So these are, so like if you want to do a console application or a library or a website, or individual file types, because you might just want to add a file. You can do that all from here, and they all have, each one of these has configuration stuff. So if I go with ASP.NET Core MVC, so I type in this, so this is the short name. So if I go down to here and I do .NET new MVC -- help, the help system's fantastic as well, because it then gives you, I mean, that flashed by really quickly, and hopefully this isn't too laggy, but it's going to be, I have a feeling it's going to be. So we scroll up to where I typed in -- help. There we go. And you've got all of the standard commands that you can run. And then if I scroll down, these are the options you can supply to .NET new MVC, and these turn on certain things or give you access to certain things. So like, B2C, which is pretty cool if you're doing Azure Active Directory, and setting a client ID for something, or, these kinds of things, using a local database only, don't restore packages, that kind of thing. So if you've done .NET framework development, .NET Core is kind of taking you back to basics. So the .NET Core stuff is all supplied via NuGet packages. So everything, system.drawing, system.xml, everything is a NuGet package now. And I've got a couple of posts on the web, on the blog, about things like the .NET standard and stuff and how it all sort of plugs together. So it's worth having a look through there. A development of .NET Core stuff on Mac OS is pretty much like developing everything else. Link description of the videos. Okay, cool. I'll add links to stuff. So the links that I had sent round earlier, Horizon TT had said that they can't see you can't scroll up through the chat. So I had previously linked to .NETCore.brogman.com and .NET/core, which is, one's my blog and the other one is the official place for Microsoft, from Microsoft, to go and get the SDK and all the tools and stuff. I do use Visual Studio Code, which is a really nice text editor, and I've got extensions for handling C# and the C# and documentation and stuff for Docker and stuff, because I do those things. I also use Rider, primarily because it's cross-platform and it's ACE, and I have a free license for it, a legit free license, because everything I do in .NET Core is open source. They allow you to do that, so that's cool. I don't think there's anything. Oh no, I've just seen a message from Horizon TT in the chat. Thanks for the links. That's not a problem. I'll do 2 videos on OBS, maybe one that I don't stream but that I put straight up on YouTube so I can edit it together, of how I went through setting it up. And then if there's anything else that people want to, if you wanted to use those values and stuff, then you can, and follow that. It's not a problem. So Jay Miller's just said he's going to make me a Vim user one day. Sure, I can use Vim. :Q ! Is what I'll say. That's how you quit out on Vim. A lot of people don't seem to get that every time, but that's cool. At least I hope that's how you quit out on Vim. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show off. It was just a really quick, short. This has been going on for 23 minutes. Again, I'm a waffler. That's another blog that I run, all about video games, retro video games. It's worth checking that out. So that one is, we've got a really cool URL for that. My brother will love me for showing this off. I'll let that slowly load over here. Don't let that reflect the speed of the server. That is literally because I'm uploading and downloading at the same time on this VPN. Apparently that's not a secure connection, so let's try that again. And it's a blog on retro video games, and we write about stuff that we've played in the past. We've got a podcast that's I've got a nascent podcast, sort of like a new podcast. It's coming out. It's got like 5 episodes so far, so that's cool. Okay, so Jay Miller just said the proper way to do it is :WQ, but yeah. So like I said, just a really quick video just to show off some stuff. I'll do another video on how I have got OBS set up, but I'll probably do that on the Beast, and then I can talk over it. But that's about it. I just thought I'd show that off. So thanks for watching. I'll see you another time.